Hello, everybody. My name is Michelle Scott, and I'd like to welcome you to LCAP's Creative Kitchen. This is the fun place, a safe place where you can just allow your imagination concerning food to just flow and create something fun, something magical, but most of all, something delicious. Today, we're going to be focusing on apples, and everybody loves an apple, don't you? And the fun thing about it is apples come in a variety of different colors, tastes, and all sorts of sizes. But what I think is going to be fun today is that we're going to be creating an apple nacho recipe. So we're going to have the best of two worlds, both apples and nachos. We're going to put this thing together and we're going to eat and have fun and love it. So with our apple nacho recipe, it's calling for just a few ingredients. The most important ingredient, of course, is going to be apples. What I'd like to let you to know, though, is that the thing about apples is because there's so many different colors and shapes, you can use whatever shapes, whatever colors that you want. There's green, there's some that are red, there's something that are pink. Whatever your taste buds is calling for, just choose your apples. But before you do anything, remember to wash your hands, wash your fruit, which has already been done, and then we're going to put on some gloves today. Okay, so the first step is to get your knife, and then we're going to slice the apples into thin slices. Now, kids, remember, you need your parents with you. So we're going to slice it in half first, and then look. So you see the apple seeds in there, but the apple seeds are not a part of the recipe, so we're going to get rid of those apple seeds. And the next thing to do is to slice them in half again. All right, so now you have wedges. This makes it easy for you to tilt the apple, stand it up, and then you can slice off the seeds. Because again, remember, the seeds are not a part of the recipe. And have a little garbage bowl next to you so that you can put those core seeds in there. And we're going to do this to each of them because we want these apples, we want to get every bit of this onto the plate. And did you also know that the skin of the apples provides lots of good fiber for you? So apples are a good source of vitamin C and fiber. So it's okay if you need to cut off the skin of the apple, just for our smaller kids, for our toddlers. But if you can keep it on because it's going to be a good source of fiber. We all need fiber in our bodies. So we're going to slice these apples into thin slices as such. And they can be as thin or as thick as you like. Sometimes some people like the crisp of the apple. And so the thicker that you have it, the crispier those apples can be. All right, so we're slicing. I wish I had a green apple just so that I can add a splash of color to it. And then, with the holidays coming around, then you can have red and green apples, right? So we're almost done. We're slicing. And what we're going to do is we're going to douse these apples just with a splash of lemon juice. Can you guess why? Because the lemon juice will help to stop the browning of the apples. Right when you cut them, the air gets to it and they start to brown. So we're going to use a quarter cup of lemon juice. I'm sorry, not a quarter cup. We're going to use about a teaspoon of lemon juice. And we're going to douse these apples with the lemon juice. And we're just going to mix it up a little bit. And we're going to arrange them on our plates. We're almost done. Look, this is a quick, easy recipe that the family can do together. So we're going to arrange these on our plates as such. Because, when you use nachos, the regular nachos with the chips, you just throw in the chips on the plate. And so this is what we're going to do. And then we're going to move this aside. Let's move this aside. And then the fun part, we're going to start topping our apple nachos off with some fun toppings. And so what I have here are some sunflower seeds. I have about 2 tablespoons of sunflower seeds. So what I'm going to do is just get some, and we're just going to look. There's no right or wrong way to put these seeds on the apples. You just cover those apples, and you can use as many sunflower seeds as you like. I also have some dried cranberries, if you can see those. I love dried cranberries. And then look at the color. They're so rich in color. And so we're just going to down some of these cranberries on here. And with the cranberries, I have probably about a quarter cup of cranberries here. Again, if you don't like cranberries, you can use raisins. You can choose whatever topping that you'd like. And then just to make it a little bit more fun, I have mini chocolate chips here. And so here, there's about a tablespoon of mini chocolate chips. Look how pretty that's looking right now. That is looking just scrumdiddlyocious. I think I want to take a bite right now. So we're just going to spread that over there just like that. So our final step then is we're going to use some honey and peanut butter. Now let me start by saying this is that I know that there are a lot of food allergies out there. And so you're going to want to change the recipe based on whatever the food allergies are. And that's the great thing about the apple nachos is you can use whatever toppings that you choose. And so if you have a peanut allergy, then just don't use peanut butter. You can just use whatever what keeps your kids safe and whatever is delicious to you. So what we're going to do, we have about 5.5 tablespoons of honey and 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. Now we have to heat this for about 20 seconds, and then we're going to stir it till it's smooth, and that's going to be our final topping over the apples. You can adjust this a little bit. If you want it to be a little bit thinner, you can add a little bit more honey on there. But we're just going to go ahead and we're just going to put mounds of this sauce across the apples. Look at that peanut butter and that honey. Doesn't it look good? I wish cameras you could just smell, because it smells amazing in here. It smells amazing. And actually, so I have a little bit left. And what you could do is you can scoop that into a bowl. And then as you get your apple nacho, you can maybe, if you want a little bit more peanut butter and honey, you can maybe swirl it around in that bowl. And this is what it looks like. Doesn't it look amazing? And remember, you can adjust this based on your own taste buds. I think I might want to give it a taste. Do you mind? My face will tell the truth, so you'll know if it's good or not. Let me try it. Delicious. Have fun with the recipe, everybody. Until next time, goodbye.